Good morning. In chapter 15, the offences affecting public health, safety, convenience are there, which we have already seen in the previous lecture. Today we are going to discuss about the offences affecting decency and morals. Okay, means relating to obscenity. So section 294 states that selling etc. means selling, importing, exporting and all of obscene books etc. means again in books, pamphlets, any picture, any article that is being discussed. Okay, now sale of obscene books, that is being discussed in 294. Subsection 1 states that for the purpose of subsection 2, a book, a pamphlet, a paper, writing, drawing, painting, representation, figure or any other object, including displaying of any content in electronic form also, shall be deemed to be obscene. Means what is obscene? It will be considered to be deemed to be obscene if it is lascivious, or if it appeals to the prurient interest, or if it affects to the persons in such a way that it is going to tend to deprave a person, corrupt a person, who are likely or having regard to all relevant circumstances to read, to hear, to see the matter. Like that it has been discussed in subsection 1. Means what is obscenity here? It means something which is affecting the person's mind. The person after reading it or seeing it, it is going to affect his mind and he may go astray. Means he may not think in a proper manner. He may go astray. Means in some other way he will get affected. Means if a student sees this, reads this, or sees the pornographic literature or reads a book and all, so he will be affected by that and he will be attracted to that and he will go astray. Maybe his studies are going to get affected. That is called as obscenity. So what is obscenity? That is that which is lascivious or appeals to the prurient interest. Like that they have mentioned in subsection 1. Okay, but what do you mean by obscenity? That we have to see first. The concept of obscenity is going to differ from country to country depending upon the standards or the morals or the contemporary societies. Different societies, the concept of obscenity will be different. If just discussing about sex itself becomes obscene, then no books will be sold. Nothing can be written then, because it is being discussed. Just sex or just nude films or pictures are not obscene. So obscenity lies in the eyes of men. Therefore, when a case comes to the judge has to first consider that whether the thing is obscene or not. It has been clearly mentioned in Samaresh Bose versus Amal Mitra's case that if a reference to sex by itself is considered obscene, no book can be sold except those which are purely religious. In judging the question of obscenity, the judge in the first place would try to place himself in the position of the author and from his point of view should try to understand what the author seeks to convey and whether the work has any literary or artistic value. Because something which is of artistic value or something which is of literary value, from the eyes of view of the author, it may not be obscene. So if you see the Khajuraho temple, there are so many carvings relating to the poses of sexual intercourse, but that is not obscene. That deals with artistic value. So obscenity first the judge has to check whether really it is obscene or not, through the eyes of the author, through the eyes of the creator. It is discussed in subsection 1 in that way. Okay. Now subsection 2 states that whoever sells, imports, exports, takes part in or receives profit from any business which deals in these activities, advertises or makes known by any means whatsoever that any person is engaged or is ready to engage in any act which is an offense under these sections, or offers or attempts to do any act which is an offense under this section. Means whoever sells, imports, exports, does any business or advertises something which is obscene, then section 294 will apply, and the punishment is, for the first conviction, the punishment is 2 years and fine which may extend to 5,000 rupees, and in the event of second or subsequent conviction, the punishment is imprisonment extend to 5 years and fine extend to 10,000 rupees. And moreover, important part of section 294 is, here it is mentioned whoever, for the purpose of subsection a book, pamphlet, paper and all, like these words are mentioned in subsection 1, and subsection 2 states that whoever sells. Here it is not mentioned whoever intentionally sells, whoever with knowledge sells. Here intention, here means riya is not required. Whoever sells, import, exports anything which is obscene, the offense is being committed. However, there are certain exceptions which are clearly mentioned below the section itself, that any book, pamphlet, paper, writing, drawing, printing, representation or any figure which is being published for public good, which is of science, importance of, or it is for the interest of science, literature, art or learning or any other object, then the offense is not committed. Which is kept or used bona fide for religious purposes, then that is not obscene. That is not coming under this section. Any representation sculptured, engraved, painted or otherwise represented on any ancient monument, I told you the example of Khajuraho temple, isn't it? So it comes under this exception. Any ancient monument within the meaning of the Ancient Monument and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act 1958, or any temple or any car used for the conveyance of the idol or kept or used for any religious purposes, that is not as obscene. So this section will not apply to whatever I told now as an exception. Okay. Now section 295 states, sale, again etc., selling, importing and all of obscene objects to a child, because the children who are below 18 years of age, they may be affected fast, they may be affected more than an adult person or a person of some 40 or 50 age. They may see something lascivious, but their mind will not be depraved, their mind will not be corrupt, but a child will, who is having curiosity at that particular time, will get affected more. Therefore section 295 deals with that if offense under section 294 is been committed towards the child, obscene object is been given to the child, then the punishment is imprisonment extend to 3 years and fine which may extend to 2,000 rupees, and again in the event of second or subsequent conviction, the punishment is 7 years, imprisonment extend to 7 years and fine which may extend to 5,000 rupees. Okay. Now the last section is section 296, that is obscene act and songs. Whoever, to the annoyance of others, does any obscene act in a public place, or sings, recites or utters any obscene song, ballad or words in or near any public place, then he will be punished with imprisonment extend to 3 months or fine extend to 1,000 rupees or both. Means here what the person is doing in a public place, he is reciting certain things, he is singing a song, he is doing some obscene act, he is reciting something. Means the people who are nearby, when they hear, they are getting annoyed. If such a act is been done, obscene acts and songs are being sung in a public place, then he will be liable under section 296. Okay. 3 sections are there which deal with decency and morality. You should be decent. The things which are not decent can be called as obscene. But first of all, obscenity must be checked first, whether really whatever the author has told or whatever is been published is really obscene or not, and that should be checked from his viewpoint, and also how it is going to get affected on the other. Means here the clear words which are being used in 294 are what? Deemed to be obscene if it is lascivious, means anything which is been published and all, writing and all, will be deemed to be obscene if it is lascivious or appeals to the prurient interest and which is going to affect the person, and that person will be depraved from his thinking capacity. He may go astray, he may go corrupt, and corrupt persons who are likely having regard to all relevant circumstances to read, see, hear the concerned matter. Okay, these three sections are there which deal with obscenity. Okay, bye bye. See you in the next video.